Hello and welcome back to another episode of I Didn't Know I Was Having a Child. I am your host, Levi Trumbull, and today's episode is brought to you by Florida Orange. Now, today's episode may seem like something straight out of a fairy tale, but I can assure you that this is reality. Joining me today are special guests, Devon and Brian. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing okay.
Very good.
I'm excited to meet my new son.
Very good, very good. So, tell me about it, because we are a very reputable show, and we like to be taken very seriously on this show, and we've had a reputation a long time for being that show that's honest.
You want the story about me and his mom, how we met, right?
Well, I would like that story, but I would also.
Let me tell you that story. So I was
Go
at
ahead
the
and
strip
let me
club,
know
right?
about it. Right.
I had nothing but $1 in my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I was broke at the time.
Right.
So I went in there, I didn't go there for the girls or nothing. I went there for the money.
You're a respectable gentleman,
But,
yes, of course.
Oh, no, I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
I went there, saw the money on the ground, man. I was like, yeah, I'm getting this and getting the out of here.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
So I ran out, yada, yada, yada. His mom was a police officer. Wasn't she a police officer? Yeah, she was.
She's a police officer. Very good.
Was she? He's not answering.
Fredrick County Department?
He's mute.
Yeah?
He's
okay.
mute.
Okay,
So
it's all right. It's no problem.
Yeah,
It's
that's
no
why
problem.
that's why I didn't want him.
So,
but back to the
so-
story. But yeah, his mom was a police officer. She took me in. Yada, yada, yada.
Mhm.
The basic love story, right?
Right.
And then,
Absolutely. Romeo and Juliet sounds like. Something like that? No.
Not really, but.
Bonnie and Clyde?
But 6 months later, he came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's really black, but you can't tell.
I think I do see a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, his hoodie is definitely black. We can both agree on that. I mean,
yeah,
he's I can see it.
I can see. Yeah, basically.
Very good.
I'm happy to meet my new son.
Tell us about your platypus. The platypus you got recently as a gift from your son.
Yeah, he took it from a zoo. So.
Can I
From a
just
zoo.
say,
Yeah.
Oh, he's not mute no more.
I'm not mute no more. I legit thought this was The Price is Right. I think I'm on the wrong show.
All right.
But let
No
me go
problem.
find you your son, maybe.
All right.
Good luck in actually finding him.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of I Didn't Know I Had a Child. Make sure to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I am your host, Levi Trumbull, and have a good night.
Oh man, I'm done.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Game Guys. Today's episode is sponsored by GameStop. I am your host, Levi Trumbull, and today's episode is certainly something special, joined with long-term guests Brian and Bob. Stay tuned, we're coming right back. All right, and we are back with Game Guys. Like I said, we are joined with special guests Brian and Bob. And Brian and Bob have owned a business selling antique games out of Richmond, Virginia for about 13 years now. First of all, I just want to say thank you guys. You've been long-term guests of the show, and we always love to hear your input on the different antique games that you have provided the show in the past. So, as far as I'm concerned, you have the Super Nintendo and the Genesis X game consoles. Do you want to tell us a little bit about some of these consoles and what their value stands at today, and why these are still very important games that people should still be playing?
Well, Bob, you want to go? Talk about the Genesis, and I'll follow up with the Super Nintendo.
Of course. This is a Genesis. It's got nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
Your turn.
Like you said, it's got nostalgia. This Nintendo 64. It's more than a, the average video game. Has about 4 buttons.
Right.
Like it usually does.
It's your typical 8-bit systems, and
Yeah, typical. Even though it's in the game department, it's kind of lacking.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not no Genesis fan, but
Mm-hmm.
it comes with one of the greatest games of all time, Sonic the Hedgehog. Please get a close up on this.
Right. Sonic the Hedgehog, long-term favorite, childhood favorite. People have been playing this game since the 1980s. Definitely a #1 bestseller in video games. Props to you guys for bringing that. We're even glad that you would bring that, because it's such an honor.
An iconic game.
It's such an iconic game. It really is. Another thing that we talked about before the show is you guys actually remaster video games, and you don't just remaster them. What you do is you can take current video games like Grand Theft Auto
Bump it
and
up.
things like that, and you can convert these into 8-bit digital systems, cartridges that you can plug into your Super
Bob
Nintendo
can
and things
tell
like
you
that.
specific things that go on with that process. Go in specific detail. Take as long as you need.
We would love to know
to
because
go
this is
into that process.
This
Bob,
is
please.
revolutionary as far as I'm concerned, and our audience would love to hear about how you actually can do this, how you have the technology to do this. So and we're wrapping up, so go ahead and tell us before we end.
It's got nostalgia.
Got nostalgia. Well, I would certainly agree that this is nostalgic, and it's very nice, and that's all the time we have for today's episode. Join us the next time.
Hello and welcome to GMOMG, where we talk about the exciting world of farming and the ways it is offending God. Today, I have two American heathens with me who are GMO farmers. And here they are. Please, introduce yourselves.
Well, how are you doing, sir? My name is Billy Bob Joe Cletus III, and this is my partner. His name's Patty.
Howdy.
Very nice to meet you, Patty, and your many unimportant names. So, from what I understand, you both are GMO farmers.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
What do you grow?
Well, Patty, why don't you start off by telling them about all the purty nuts you grow?
Well, I got a nice little formula I got going on. See, these are real California almonds, but I grow them in Mississippi. But
Does not that make them...
it's the GMOs that make it California, like
I
weather
see.
conditions, yes.
I see. Very interesting.
Because that's how GMOs work.
Yes, and God does not like it when you change your location.
Yeah.
Now, what about you?
I got, you know what? I actually had a dream last night that said God was actually loving these nuts here. He said he loves to eat these nuts.
God hates your nuts.
I thought God told me from a young boy to be a nut farmer and a potato farmer too. You mean God don't like my potatoes?
Well, and it is good you bring up the potato, because from what I understand, you're trying to grow a living Miss Potato Head.
Yeah, I mean, she's pretty. Look at her. She's pretty.
So you're trying to
she's
create
pretty.
life.
We like to share sometimes.
She
you
like
know.
to say she's
Yeah.
a good old girl. I'm gonna tell you something, boy.
So you want to create a living potato.
Oh, well,
against God's will.
Well, I mean, if you put it that way, that's a little extreme now. You know what I mean? I just think she's a good old girl. Look at her, man. She likes to eat nuts too. Hey, girl. You see,
Well.
she likes that very, very much. Look at her.
What else would you expect from Americans, huh?
Hey, why don't they put the cameras on me for a second? I just want to show you how good his nuts taste. The cameras on me. I just love his nuts. Oh, they're good. Oh, they're good. You got
No,
the best nuts on the whole east side.
Cletus,
My
they're
name-
not shower nuts.
Cletus died 4 years ago. I'm Billy Bob Joe Cletus III.
I don't know what else to say about you people. It is just... I'm
Good
glad
night,
God hates you.
America.
I really am glad God hates you. Go ahead. Well, this was a waste, wasn't it?
Hello. We are back with my show, the Devon Johnson Show. We are here with Eduardo and Sanchez. Eduardo, I don't know why that's on your head, but we'll get started with this anyway. They have a product. You see, you know what? I'm going to let you guys talk about the product. Go ahead,
Levi?
Sanchez.
Yeah, man. Hey, fam. Look, I don't even know what I'm doing here today, cuz all I know is I just hit me a bottle of this fine grape, son.
Who
We
let that
doing
on
all right
production?
today, man?
But,
What
all right.
were you talking about? Security was like, bring it in, boy.
We're talking about this new product
right.
you guys
Oh,
have brought
right,
me.
right,
Go
right.
ahead. Okay, open that case.
Oh,
up,
let's
man.
open that joint up, son.
Now, you guys are the creators of the shake weight, right?
Yes.
I
Yeah,
believe.
man, that shake weight.
We actually were the ones who coined to put water in the end.
Yeah, man.
Oh, like on South Park, right?
Yeah. So
Like-
like at the end of it, you shake it and it goes right. Why did they
Show me an example of it.
All right, so it's like
Yeah,
that.
you shake it.
Yeah, and it goes like everywhere, but it cools you down while you're working out.
Okay, so what is
It's like a
the new
squirt
product?
gun, right?
Yeah, it's like a squirt gun, but you work out with it.
But it's like, it's like
So
for
what-
those people who
can
like
you
to get
tell me
wet
what your
during
new
their
product
workout.
is?
Yeah,
So,
man, put it-
so here,
Oh man.
let's help you out. You want to show them this?
Yeah, I'll show 'em, man. Ooh, why does this stink so bad though? What do we? Hold a
So
minute.
what do you call
Hold a
this
minute.
product? Because it
Oh,
looked like Mrs. Potato Head. It looked like I jocked it off.
Oh yeah, man. I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't even remember what we call this thing. What we call this thing? The
Mr. Potato Head.
didn't we create this to make it look like your ex-girlfriend?
Yeah, we did.
Wasn't that like our thought process behind the whole design
So
concept?
I was really mad about my ex-girlfriend, right?
right.
All right, before you continue, why is there a banana in there?
We'll
Oh,
get
man.
to that.
Oh, okay. go ahead.
It's part of the story with my ex-girlfriend.
Right.
All right, can I see?
Yeah, man.
Can I see this?
It can't be a long story
Definitely.
because they just can't. I
All
don't
right,
care that
so
much.
long story short.
Look, oh man, just
So
set her,
this-
on
this-
the table for a minute,
this
and
has
then
been-
it's for like when you
Oh,
feeling like kind
Please
of.
don't set that on
You
our
know,
table.
I feel you just
we
kind
have
of
some
just mad at her,
sanitized-
man. It's kind of like a stress toy. You feel me too? It's like a brand new stress
All right,
toy. we
so
have. Let's make sure you get a real good wide
we-
shot of this.
we might need to-
ooh. Just get
Oh
on
shit,
outta
we might
here,
need to
man.
wrap this up. So
All right, yeah.
Man,
You
get
missed
the
it.
heck
Thank
out of
you.
here with all that crap, man.
stop throwing.
Did we invent that, man? No.
Yeah,
way,
we
man.
did,
All
dude.
Nah,
All right,
bro.
all right, Iguara
Son,
and
we actually
Sanchez.
invented
That's it
that
for the Devon
Get on
Johnson
TV,
show.
baby, on
Woo, we made
that
it,
thing,
Please
man.
don't let these motherfuckers here again.
Bro,
we made it.
bro, what is this?
Goodbye.
Moonshine?
Whoa, dude.
Good evening and welcome to Channel 23 News. I am your host, Levi Trumbull, and we appreciate you spending this hour with us tonight. We start off tonight with a very unusual story. Residents of Fredrick County are now throwing the age-old idea of having children to the wayside, with some folks saying that we should even ban all children completely. Residents are saying that children are a nuisance, expensive, smelly, and loud. Reports say that the movement started in Thurmont by a group of this thing is moving too fast. The teleprompter? Like you see me? Keep it rolling. Okay. Now on to our second major story that is breaking headlines as we speak. We have a Category 6 tornado followed by a Category 6 hurricane followed by a Mack truck-sized hail along with a shower of volcanic rain. Here is the, what? Camera 1. Oh, this. Good evening and welcome to Channel 23 News. I am your host, Levi Trumbull, and thank you for joining us this evening. Tonight we're going to start off with a very unusual story. Residents of Fredrick County are now throwing the age-old idea of having children to the wayside, with some folks even saying that we should ban all children completely. Residents are saying that children are a nuisance, expensive, smelly, and loud. Reports say that this movement started in Thurmont by a group by the name of the Adults Against Adolescents. We will do a following update to this story as it develops in the coming days. A very fascinating story indeed. Now on to our second major story that is breaking headlines as we speak. We have a Category 6 tornado followed by a Category 6 hurricane followed by Mack truck-sized hail, all with a topping of volcanic rain. Here in the newsroom we have Elijah G. All of the important details and information that you need to know before you walk your dog Petey. Elijah, good evening.
Thanks, Levy. Today we've got some strange weather. For the majority of the local areas, we've got temperatures in the mid-80s, a light breeze, sunny. I'd say plan for a picnic. Unless you're within the 1-block radius of the Westboro Baptist Church of Thurmont, we urgently ask you to seek shelter immediately. We've got a tornado directly en route to this church. This system has the capability to produce an EF6 tornado, the first ever recorded in U.S. history. Once again, if you are within 1 block radius of the Westboro Baptist Church of Thurmont, we ask you to urgently seek shelter. Members of the church are asked to wait outside until further notice. Back to you, Levy.
Well, thank you, Elijah. Sounds like a nasty one. Now to your local sports news, we have Chester McChesterton.
Thanks, Levi. Welcome to Fredrick, Maryland, everybody. We got some hot sports action for you. We take you now to a little 11-year-old Tammy Dunsworth. Tammy is the champion of the Chuggers Cup. The former pig wrestling champion has chugged 30 beers in 20 minutes. This is the third year she has completed and the first year winning the championship. We caught up to little Tammy, and she had this to say. Today I proved that I am a champion, that I am the greatest. Miss Mullins said I couldn't do it. Look at you now, bitch. I'm the number one. You sucker MCs ain't got nothing on me. What a wild, wacky day of sports. Levi, I'm going to send it back to you.
You know, that is a very inspiring story. Thank you, Mark. Really is. Local firehouse dog Fluffy went missing earlier this week. She was visiting local kids in the hospital when the doctors stopped taking care of her. Fluffy then ran away. If you have any information about where her whereabouts or of Fluffy, please call the number on the screen, 1-800-598-6969. Again, 1-800-598-6969. Fluffy is very approachable and kind. Thank you for joining us this evening on Channel 23 News. Thank you, and we hope all of you have a very good night. So I said to Lisa, look, I know you paid $5,000 for your nose job, and I get that you're proud of this nose job, but really it's just not that nice, and I think you got ripped off. And she's like, oh no, he was a board-certified surgeon. He did an amazing job. And I'm like, no, that nose is never going to fly in the TV world. And it's just ridiculous how we're live right now. Oh my God. Hello and welcome to Totally Real News Live. I am your host, Levi Trumbull, and we have a heck of a show for you guys today. Joining me today, all the way from the UK, is Niles Eugene Piercy. That's right, Niles Eugene Piercy. How are you doing, my friend? Thank you so much for traveling all this way just to be on this show today.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a great pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. So let's just get right on with it. You've heard of the name Gustavo Andreas,
Oh,
correct?
who hasn't heard of him? He's the greatest entertainer of all time.
Everyone's heard of him. If you're living under a rock, under the sea, or if you are just blatantly dumb, let me tell you who Gustavo Andreas is. He is the world-renowned actor, dancer, singer, acrobat, and gymnast, and we have him in studio right now.
It's amazing. He's the greatest entertainer I've seen. Been to millions of shows. He's the best ever. It's a great treasure.
Absolutely.
You can't even get tickets to him.
Oh, I know. Book shows sold out everywhere. So, without further ado, now presenting the world-renowned and world-famous acrobat, singer, dancer, gymnast, Gustavo Andreas.
Oh, wow. What an amazing
There he
treat.
is.
This is great treat. Oh, this is brilliant.
There he is, the man, the myth, the legend himself.
Oh, wow.
If it isn't Gustavo Andreas, how are you, my friend?
Very well, thank you. And yourselves?
Oh, cheers, mate. Great
Good
to
to
see
see
you.
you.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
So just a quick question for you, because I'm sure the audience would love to know. What inspired you to become a performer?
Oh, I remember when I was a child, I had this uncle. He would love to watch me juggle balls for him. Just all day, all night, just juggling balls. And I think that's really where I started to love entertaining.
That's so cool. So what is your favorite part most of performing in front of people?
My favorite. I love putting smiles on children's faces.
All right, that is just incredible. Now, you know what? Let's just get right on with it, man. The audience is ready. We're ready. You've traveled. I think you are ready. He has a routine called the 15-second dance routine. Go ahead and perform that real quick. Get yourself warmed up.
All right, would you mind dropping a beat for me?
All right. All right.
Oh, amazing.
Look at that. All right. So
Brilliant.
now, if you thought that was great,
Brilliant.
let's get on to the main course. Go ahead and juggle.
All right, gentlemen. Keep your chins off the floor
All
for
right,
me.
let's go.
Oh, here we are. Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is a treat.
Oh, what the?
Amazing.
Oh, he's
I
just
love
messing
kicking
with
it
us.
off of him.
He's messing with us.
He's
No,
great.
he's messing with us.
He's having a laugh.
No, he's
having a laugh.
He's,
This is
he's
great.
turning. He's turning purple.
He's turning
He's
purple. He's turning
He's turning
purple.
purple.
my
Cut
God.
everyone.
Someone call
We're gonna
the
need you
national
for the record.
anthem.
We need you. He's turning purple.
I don't
He's
know
turning
what to
purple.
do.
He's turning
I
purple.
don't know what to do. I can't do my
Okay, calm down. Listen to me. He's
Oh,
dead.
okay,
Let's just
so,
take him to the closest cemetery and
okay.
get him out of here.
Okay.
Grab his arms. He's
His
going to
arms.
the cemetery. He'll decompose in 3 weeks. The vultures will eat him. Let's get him out of here. All right. Oh man, he's so heavy. I wonder if he has any cash on him.
That's what you're
Oh,
thinking about right
man.
now?
Somewhat. Rent's due next week. Get out of here. Throw some sandbags on him. All right. Out of sight, out of mind. Hello and welcome back to a very special episode of The Truth in Our Society. My name is Levi Trumbull and we have a very special episode for you guys today. Allow me to start off with an opening intro. Tonight we are talking about a very prominent and important issue. It's an issue that is often overlooked and it's a problem that is often too frequent in our culture. It is the problem none other than bullying. You hear about it in the news every day. Chances are you or somebody you know has been on the receiving end of a bully. Increasingly, bullying often ends in violence. It affects every one of us, and it often creates a mental health issue that can last for years, even into adulthood. The schools, they have a zero tolerance for bullying. It's a policy, but as we all know, that policy really doesn't work. Can we find a way to help our children? That is the question that we are going to be asking tonight. So joining me tonight are two prominent guests in the bullying community. We have Dr. Mantis Toboggan. He is the author of How to Tell If Your Child is Being Bullied. And we have an anti-bullying activist. His name is Juan Chan says, come on, guys. He is the author of Come On, Guys. Really? Enough with the bullying. It hit shelves this week. Welcome, gentlemen. First of all, I just want to thank both of you for being on the show. You guys are both very prominent members in the bullying community, and any knowledge that you give us today will seriously be just wonderful to hear.
Thank you.
So first we want to start off with Dr. Toboggan. Why do people bully, and what are the common reasons behind bullying?
Purely, people bully because it's fun. I mean, look at you. See,
Yeah,
I enjoy myself.
Okay.
I have a good time.
Yeah, I mean.
I'm sorry, it's fun?
Yes.
It's
That, as my professional opinion, yes.
it's fun.
He is a psychologist, and he has many years of experience.
That just means you got that at
No.
American Eagle.
Okay, another question for you, Mr. Toboggan. Can adults be bullied, and if so, are they the victim?
I'd like to quick rebuttal. American Eagle is the official college of Cambodia. That is where I graduated, so excuse you. Now, yes, people being bullied. So they just got to stop. You see these people that are the victims. There's no victimization.
American Eagle, Cambodia.
Right. So, I mean, you are the expert. Why do you think people bully others?
I mean, it's like asking myself, why do I look so good? It just is.
It just
And
is.
I mean, you do look pretty good. I mean, I'm not going to lie about that one. I mean, your looks
It
are like a
speaks
solid
for- it
9.5.
speaks for itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Are we pro or anti-bullying here? I'm confused.
I mean, of course, anti-bullying, but at the same time, we have to remind ourselves that it is fun, and we must continue to bully.
Right. He definitely knows what he's
That
talking
way,
about. I've seen his
they
degrees.
weed him out.
I've
Weed
seen
him
his
out.
work. He's very prominent. What advice would you give to a student that is being bullied?
Buck up, kiddo.
Buck up, kiddo. Holy shit. No.
Really? Buck up, kiddo?
Okay.
This is what you're telling
Okay.
kids?
Yes.
First thing, I just want to say,
what I
I
was
think you should
told.
have a little bit more respect for him because he is board certified. He has a doctorate.
He's
he is a
wearing gym
psychologist.
shorts.
He.
Yeah, exactly.
Board
You
certified.
sound like that was a
board
bullying
certified.
comment. All right, so
Wow.
we are just going to forget
And I'm the bully.
that we
Okay,
had a
great.
very rude guest on our show today, but make sure to join us next time on Truth in Our Society. My name